Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Lauren Borgeson.
Born in April 2020, Cade was our perfect baby born in an imperfect world. He slept through the night, he rarely cried, and he was always ready to go with the flow, allowing his older brother to be the wild, rambunctious toddler. At age 2, Cade began to change. He was frustrated, angry, and difficult to console. He tried to communicate with us, but struggled to find his language. His demeanor went from our happy baby to easily being on the edge of an epic tantrum, sometimes hurting himself or others in the process. Something was wrong. This was not our sweet Cade. So we embarked on a journey to find Cade and our family the support we desperately needed. Initially, we were referred to the state to have him evaluated for speech. It was during that evaluation that we first heard the word autism. Autism? At that point, we hadn't even considered that Cade was on the autism spectrum. He didn't display many of the stereotypical signs. He loved to be snuggled, he made eye contact with our family and friends, and he showed interest in playing with his brother. Since Cade was born in 2020, we always assumed some of his shortcomings in language and social interaction were due to the product of being born a COVID baby. That said, we were heartbroken by his struggles and knew we needed to help him. We sought out additional experts in child development to assist in Cade's evaluation, and were told that there may be something going on. Again, that autism could be a possibility, but that the diagnosis didn't matter until he was 5. It didn't matter? Well, it mattered to us, and it mattered to Cade. We immediately started learning everything that we could about autism. I started following a lot of moms on social media who have autistic children. There was one account that really struck a chord with my husband, Matt, and I. We couldn't believe how this little girl communicated, how she jumped up and down, and how she loved to swing. She was just like our Cade. It was at that moment that we decided to make an appointment to get him evaluated for autism, and on August 1st, 2023, Cade was officially diagnosed. It's a day that will forever be ingrained on our souls. A day we cried and were fearful about what the future would look like for our son. But it was also a day that we committed to be his advocates, to fight for our little boy no matter what the future holds, to navigate his diagnosis and how he experiences the world. Ryder, our older son, went to a preschool that we loved. When the parents and teachers would ask, "Will we see Cade next year?" our hearts sank because we knew Cade needed more than this preschool could provide. We shared with a few families that Cade was diagnosed with autism, and we were looking to find him a program to support his needs. That's when one of the families referred me to a group of moms in Phoenix who all have children impacted by autism. 2 weeks after Cade's diagnosis, I attended a happy hour with this group of moms, and it was unlike any other happy hour that I had ever been to. What our family received that night was so much more than expected. We were immediately embraced into a support system who grieved with us, told us about funding and different therapies that worked for their children, but most importantly, told us about SARC. The next day, we called to inquire about getting Cade enrolled in SARC Community School, and in September 2023, just 6 weeks after his diagnosis, Cade began his first day at SARC. Like many of the parents we've spoken with, we were nervous about the time commitment, the number of therapy hours, and the program structure for a 3-year-old. And honestly, we couldn't have been more wrong. Cade has thrived from ABA therapy since joining the SARC Community School. He loves going to school and his one-on-one sessions, jumping up and down at the gate every day, excited to start the day with his teachers and peers. Cade started school in September last year, speaking 1 or 2 words. And now, just 9 months later, he's speaking full sentences and advocating for himself. requesting his favorite show, Pete the Cat, telling us how he feels, and letting us know when he needs a break. And on top of that, Matt and I are learning too. We are discovering through the help of Sark the best ways to communicate and support Cade. We now have the right tools to continue advancing his communication and social interactions. When I think about this time last year, we were lost. We were doing our best, but we lacked clarity on how to support our son. 9 months later, thanks to Sark, we have our Cade back. We are empowered with the tools and resources to advocate for him and give him support, and he is blossoming. Our fear for the future has faded, because here's what we know. Our Cade is bright, inquisitive, and funny, and based on what he's accomplished in the last 9 months, he is unstoppable. With continued support and the right opportunities, his future will be filled with endless possibilities. We can't wait to see all the wonderful things he'll do with his life.